Hi friends, my name is Emily and this is The Self-Help Chef. I believe that food is the ultimate connection to all things mental, physical, and spiritual. This series is all about how to navigate important self-help topics while making delicious plant-based food. Food is the source of community, important discussion, family, and so much more. I encourage everyone to cook along with me and my guests while we talk candidly and openly about everything health and wellness. Today we were talking all things movement and probably my favorite food in the world, dumplings. And I'm so excited to have my special guest with me. Her name is Jennie, and I like to say that you're a dumpling master. I love watching all of your dumpling videos on Instagram. Not only is she a dumpling master, but Jennie is also a fitness instructor and a trainer in Austin, Texas. In her spare time, she's a passionate foodie and a cat mama to George, who I always see, and you call him your sous chef, right?
He is in fact my sous chef, yes. In the home, he's very helpful, and by helpful, I mean not so helpful.
And he eats all of the food.
He does. He's a little piggy, and we love it.
That's so awesome. So I'm so happy that you're joining me today because dumplings and fitness, I feel like we both share a passion on food and fitness. We actually met through doing fitness together as the short time I was a fitness instructor. But I've always been so inspired by your message that you give to people and that you share in your community, and I just can't wait to talk about it.
Thank you. Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for the kind words.
Of course, and this is actually your dumpling recipe.
Yes, it is.
So I would love to hear about why you chose these ingredients, kind of what your mind was going through when you chose all of the stuff that we're gonna put into these dumplings today.
Sure. Yeah. So I learned how to cook off of food blogs, and this was a recipe that I've played with before, mushrooms and onions. If you don't know this about me, I don't eat a ton of meat, so this was kind of the perfect fit.
We love that.
We love it.
We love a good veggie lover.
We do. And so I was actually during the lockdown deciding, okay, well, you know, what's something that I could waste some time on and is delicious. Obviously, the correct answer is dumplings.
Yes.
So I decided to pull the recipe out, and I thought, okay, well, I wonder what else I could add to it. So I also added, shaved Brussels sprouts, and also some green onions. And it just kind of spawned from there. I did not grow up in a traditionally Chinese home, though I am Chinese. I was adopted when I was 5 months by a Jewish woman from upstate New York.
So you have the Jewish background of the food, but you had to kind of make your way into finding your own roots and your own culture and food.
And I really, growing up, I didn't feel like I really connected with being Chinese and that being a huge part of my identity.
Yeah.
And so I've actually found access to it again through food. And so this dumpling recipe has kind of become one of my favorites to make at home, and is also, you know, in a lot of ways symbolizing me kind of carving out that path for connection to where I come from.
Yeah, and I love how you're picking traditional ingredients and you're also picking not so traditional ingredients. Yeah. Because you're kind of like a melting pot yourself, you know?
Exactly.
You're a bunch of fun things put together, and I think that's what it's gonna represent in a dumpling as well today.
Yes, well thank you.
Yes, so we have some cremini and shiitake mushrooms, right?
Yes.
Some chopped onions, shaved Brussels sprouts, and then for our sauces, we have sesame oil, Sriracha, and garlic. So it's gonna be fun. So we start with sauteing, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so let's bring all of our yummy goodies over here. I'm gonna turn on our stovetop and let's get cooking.
All right, I'm gonna hand these to you.
Yes,
if that's all right.
Perfect. Thank you. Of course.
Yeah, so traditionally, like a dumpling or a pot sticker is pork and cabbage. You know, you'll see that in Chinese menus all the time, and I didn't know that, like, unintentionally I was creating a veggie version of that. With the mushrooms, you've got that meaty texture and flavor, and then non-traditional ingredients. I didn't have cabbage, and I went for the Brussels sprouts, and I also was a super picky kid. So trying new foods was not something I liked, and so like within the last couple of years, I've really come around to Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's a big
one to get over.
And I also think that part of the reason none of us liked Brussels sprouts because as kids we had them like steamed.
Yeah, nobody
It's
knows
disgusting.
how to cook them.
No,
Back in 2005,
Right.
you know?
Totally.
But now people are frying them, they're putting them in dumplings.
We have listen, we've got the air fryer,
Yes.
which truly,
Oh, the air fryer.
What would we be doing without an air fryer now?
I don't know. Living in a cave.
I know.
I don't think we would be surviving.
First there was fire, and then there was air
There
fryers.
was air fryers. I love that.
Yes. But yeah, so it's kind of a play on, the traditional pork and cabbage, only it's mushrooms and Brussels sprouts.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, you're mainly known as a very well-known fitness instructor in Austin, Texas. So I'm really curious on what got you into fitness and what makes you so passionate about movement in general.
Yeah. So I started in fitness when I was in college, when I was in school, and I was home for a summer, and the first summer after your first year of college is hard.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the times we've grown in ways that we didn't expect to, and I certainly found myself feeling like I don't fit here anymore.
Yeah.
Like not out of like I wasn't welcome, but just that I had outgrown who I was, in
Finding a new identity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so my kind of reprieve from being home and like having this existential crisis over the summer, which is like truly the story of my life. That will be my autobiography, existential crisis on summer break.
I love it.
Or an emo pop punk band.
Yeah.
But anyways, I started going to this gym. They had a college student membership that was like 3-month contract. And I started taking this class called Body Combat. It's
cool.
a cardio kickboxing class.
Sounds very fierce.
Yes, and I just totally fell in love with it. Fast forward to I'm getting ready to return to school in the fall, and they had a training to teach Body Combat in Houston. So I was just like, well, that's close enough. Let's see if I could teach something like this.
Yeah.
And so I went to the training, and I was just like, yeah, this is it.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
I went to school for theater as well. So it really merged that passion for performance as well as for movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've found my passion for movement over the years, and it's really changed. I think for a lot of people, it's about mental health and the physical aspect. But I think the longer I've been in the fitness industry, the more it is about the mental health aspect of it, the what space that is to you, as well as learning how to occupy space and then to connect with others.
Yeah. Community and
Absolutely.
connection. Do you want to help me and add in some onions?
I would love to.
We'll do a little interactive.
Okay, perfect.
So just dump them all in there. So right now we are getting all of the water content out of the mushrooms, right?
Correct.
So
Yes.
getting all of that
We're gonna
water
sweat 'em.
out, sweat them out, get that meaty flavor going, and then we're gonna add in our onions. Traditionally, we would put onions in first, but I put in the mushrooms first just so we could get all the water out of there.
Totally.
And the onions will start to mix in, get translucent, and already smelling amazing.
So good.
Oh my god, I love mushrooms and sesame oil.
Me too.
Like the best. So you said your vision on fitness has changed.
Absolutely.
How did it start off? And then how did you kind of find your voice? Because you have a very strong voice in the fitness industry,
Yes, I do.
which I always really admired about you, is that you are kind of going off of the path of what I think a lot of fitness instructors are. And so I would love to hear about like what you have found and what you like to teach to your clients and kind of how you inspire them. I'm gonna have you dump those in as well.
Perfect.
All right. Shredded Brussels.
I think that a lot of the times in fitness we just focus on, the physical aspect, and you hear a lot of coaching like, these are the amount of calories you're burning, or work for your tank top arms.
Oh God.
I know.
Makes me cringe.
I know. Or like, oh God, what do people say? Oh, you're working for that last margarita. You're working for that extra slice of pizza. pizza, which is just like such a toxic, honestly, like asshole thing to say.
It makes you feel like it's an obligation and it's such a pressure on yourself, and it's not fun.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and through that, I mean, it was never something that was never a coaching like principle that I felt attracted to.
Yeah.
In saying, you know, we're working for those. It's almost summer. Oh God, the thing that really makes me just want to like clock out and go home.
Yeah. What's your least favorite saying?
It's bikini season.
Oh. It's
Yikes.
always bikini season.
It's always,
like your body is always in bikini season.
I just, ugh.
Yeah.
So, I have a really good friend who felt very passionately about it, and it said to me, you know, fitness instructors say these things and it's so harmful. And while I wasn't attracted to that kind of language, I had never thought about it was never a conscious choice of like, this is something that we should bring to people's attention. And I was like, oh my God. And I just nixed the diet culture language entirely from my coaching vocabulary.
That's amazing. And
Thank you.
That's such a huge step.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially being surrounded by so many people who are immersed in diet culture and fitness equaling appearance.
Totally. And through that, it just kind of grew from there. So so we worked together at a kickboxing studio here locally for a little bit, and in order to learn and continue my education so I could still be a good teacher as well, I had joined a gym to study Muay Thai, kickboxing.
I remember that.
Yes, and it was something much like my fitness career. Oh, I don't think, you know, this will be serious, and like here I am 8 years later. But with Muay Thai, I had said, you know, this is just going to be something fun that I want to do. 6 months later, I was training for a fight. So
I remember that. I was like, damn, girl, like, kick ass. It was very, very cool. And like hearing the voice comes out, right?
Yeah.
When you're doing it, like your whole body is
totally
immersed in the Muay Thai.
Right, and that I think is really where I found my voice, and I found my power, and I found my want and desire to empower others through movement. Like, I was going through some stuff at the time, and it really helped me not only like heal myself, but connect to my power and realize like, okay, I've been really getting in my own way.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of my own bullshit.
Yeah.
And so through that, I essentially I coached my own experience to other people. And through that, like even further, movement is joyful for me, and I want people to find the joy and the fun in it over anything else.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that there's so many other benefits that fitness has. For example,
absolutely.
finding fitness again for me, because I lost the joy in fitness for a long time.
Sure.
Finding the joy in it was realizing that my mental health was just so much stronger after a workout. I felt all the endorphins, you know, the feeling of pure joy after like a really fun workout, surrounded by people, which we can't really do that much right now.
Right.
You know,
We're in a very limited capacity.
Very limited capacity of people with the masks on, but you know, still finding joy, like moving with a lot of people and getting those endorphins up.
And that community, I mean, I think that's one of the things I love. So I've taught everything under the sun at this point in my fitness career.
Yeah.
And right now I'm teaching a lot of indoor rhythmic spin classes.
Yeah, I love that.
And I talk often in my classes about the community that we have, because that's what makes it feel so magic. You know, we're all riding to the beat, we're doing the choreography, but it's not about the choreography. It's not about nailing the choreo all the way. That's certainly a piece of it. But it's about the fact that we're moving together as one, and we're creating this alive thing, this energy that is not just connecting us, but it's pushing us forward. It's like sometimes I don't even need to coach, because the music and the synchronicity that's happening in the room is just enough.
Just the joyful energy just can make it so happy and exciting. That's so cool. We were talking about the other day about how you can feel the energy. Like if your energy is low, then it's kind of y'all's job as fitness instructors to pump it up.
Take it up.
So you really need that. You really need that energy. So how do you find that energy yourself?
Oh my gosh.
And while we do that, I'm gonna pause. We are gonna transfer this over.
Okay.
We're gonna give it a little hit of salt.
Great.
We should definitely try it because we are chefs, right?
Yes.
So let's give it a little pinch of salt.
All right.
I'm gonna let you do
So
that.
I'm pretty liberal with salt.
As am
Because I like to season.
I'm very salty.
Yes.
So.
Well, and you know, as most people of color say, we just season till our ancestors say stop.
And do they ever say stop?
No.
No.
Okay.
Of course not.
Okay, so maybe we'll season and then we'll
taste.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then we'll
this
see.
looks amazing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love the combination. The green
Thank
is like
you.
popping.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Ah!
Yes.
So excited. Okay, let's get some spoons.
Okay.
Let's taste it.
Would you like to direct me?
Yes,
to
the
spoon?
first drawer right there.
Okay.
Grab us some spoons.
All right. These are some. Okay. There's some big spoons up in there.
There are some big spoons.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
And let's see. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's meaty.
It's meaty. because
That's
mushrooms.
crazy. I love it. Okay, I think that's a winner. Perfect. Let's transfer it on over.
Okay.
And we are going to get our dumpling dough out. We're gonna pleat, and we're gonna talk more about you and your amazing fitness journey.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
So we were talking about earlier how you find your energy so you can
Yes.
give all of that energy to other people.
Yes.
Which can be a lot.
It's a lot. And honestly, my truest and maybe hardest and continuous lesson is setting boundaries.
Yeah, that's
around
a big one.
It is exhausting to do what we do, and anyone who it's a labor. It's certainly a labor of love. Like I love what I do, but I'm tired all the time.
Yeah, I bet.
And so it's a lot of saying no and making sure I have enough time throughout the day to recharge my energy.
Yeah.
I take a lot of naps.
I love that.
I snuggle a lot with George, my cat. And a lot of the times it's just like, I think when I moved to Austin, I really hit the ground running, and not only is it an industry of networking, but it's also, you want to make new friends.
Of course.
And as much as I love spending time with my friends, I have to, give myself the time to recharge at home alone.
Yeah.
I am, believe it or not, truly an introvert.
I don't believe
Okay, well.
No, I understand because
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I am
Yeah.
an extrovert. I love people, but sometimes
It's cheap to recharge at home.
especially during the pandemic, I have to be
Yeah.
like, I need to just sit in
Yeah.
my bed, not do anything for a little bit.
Totally. In the pandemic, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I probably didn't need to see anyone ever again.
Oh yeah. And then when I go out to eat with people, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I have to talk now. I have to have a conversation.
Mine might be a little thinner than yours.
Oh no worries
Okay.
at all, because we're gonna spread it out. So what we did for people who are watching, we rolled out our dumpling dough. We're gonna cut it into little cubies.
Yes.
Little bite-sized pieces. And then we're gonna do a little assembly line of rolling and cutting it into circles. And then we're gonna pleat, which is my favorite part ever. And I can't wait for you to show me
Yes.
your signature pleating.
Yes, my signature pleating, aka what I have taught myself.
I love
at home
it. Self-taught.
from the internet, yes.
Well, I just love that because I know a lot of people don't make the choice to maybe go to culinary school,
Right.
but they're foodies, and
Yeah.
there's so many resources out there,
Absolutely.
and all of your food just looks so beautiful, and it's
you.
really cool to talk to somebody who has the same passion, but maybe a different journey getting there,
Totally.
which both of them are very valid journeys, and they're very interesting,
Yeah.
so I think that's very cool.
So I made some of mine at first pretty long because I think that
No worries.
because I'm trying to overcompensate.
No
for
worries,
how thin
dude.
I rolled this.
This is your recipe. I'm just
Thank
following
you.
along. You are the head chef of this.
Well, thank you.
Dish.
Pro tip: I 1000% use store-bought wrappers.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever's easiest.
They're best bought at an Asian market, like the stuff that you buy at Central Market
Yeah.
or even HEB
Yeah.
are usually just they're a little thinner, there's less flour, they're not going to be as thick and chewy, they're going to be really thin, which is not a bad thing, but I just started buying some more at the Asian market, and it makes a difference.
So you recommend going shopping locally at your
Absolutely.
Asian market.
And their produce is just so much. I mean, it's a lot less expensive.
And they have things that you just wouldn't ever see at a local, like HEB or a local.
I'm gonna hand these to you.
Yeah, we can swap.
Okay, cool. And
Here's your first little dude.
Thank you.
Super
Perfect.
cute.
Super cute. Oh yes, they have really cool produce. I am a huge fan of like, I love Thai food.
Oh,
and so favorite. I love going up there and like getting a green papaya and just, should I put a little flour in there?
Yeah, put a little flour. We can cover it with a wet towel.
Perfect.
Just so the dough doesn't dry out.
Yes. But yeah, I like going up there and like grabbing like a green papaya and just like enjoying making a green papaya salad. Or like grabbing, you know, daikon radish, which like I do think they have at standard grocery stores now, but I like to get it there because it's usually a little bit less expensive.
And you were talking about frozen dumplings off camera, which I tried for the first time I went to my local Asian market in San Antonio. Oh, they're so good.
They're so good. So I often say that like good Chinese girl, again, because I didn't grow up in a Chinese household, but we did have gyoza, like the Trader Joe's gyoza, which is still phenomenal.
Yes.
In the freezer all the time. Like Asian people, like we often have dumplings and like chili oil at home, like as staples. Like yes, you have to.
That's amazing.
You have to.
Yeah, I love me a good frozen
too.
dumpling. They were very, very amazing. I think better than anything I could have ever made.
And I feel like the wrappers that they use are usually a little bit thicker, which like is the whole point of a dumpling. Ooh, like you want something that's thick and chewy, and like if you are going to pan fry them, right? Like something that's also really where was I going with this? Something that that can get crispy.
Yeah, that can hold and can take on a lot of oil. So, going back to fitness and movement, I have just kind of recently figured out mindful movement. So, can you kind of define what mindful movement is and what gentle movement is?
Sure.
For a lot of people who are probably used to working out for calorie burning or working out for, you know, having a smaller body or something like that.
Sure. So mindful movement is all about moving your body for one, joy, and two, like without the goal and intention of burning calories. And so like, for example, when I get up in the morning, so I teach 7 spin classes a week, which is a lot of spin classes. Yeah, it's a lot of spin classes. That's why I love pasta so much.
Right? Gives you so much energy.
So much, exactly. But sometimes in the morning when I'm feeling really sore, I'll just wake up and like move my spine a little bit and stretch my hips out, because those are those areas that I think take like the like brunt of the work. And so like if I'm gonna do some mindful movement, like I'm not trying to get in a good workout. I just want to move my body, because you know we're meant to move our bodies as humans. It's just there's not it's without the pressure, as well as like there's no goal in mind.
I love that.
You know?
There's no goal. There's just to be in the moment, and there's just to feel that your body can move in this certain way.
Absolutely.
And you know all of the things that might come out. You know, I feel like sometimes when I've been doing mindful movement, I've felt guilty.
Sure.
Because I'm like,
You're
am I not
didn't accomplish
moving enough?
anything.
Yeah. And I think that's the whole point, right? You're just kind of going back to basics, and you're just thinking, well, maybe I don't have to accomplish anything, quote unquote. Maybe I did accomplish, you know, stretching my body and helping my body recover from.
Right. Maybe that's just what my body needed that day. And I think that's, you know, a big question that we're asking right now is like, okay, what does your body need? And then following that impulse, you know, within mindful movement. It's like, okay, well, maybe I just need to stretch my hips, or maybe a walk does sound really good. And I think that definitely ties into like the intuitive eating and movement.
Totally.
Movement, if you will.
Yes.
And, you know, it's such a mentally healthier approach to activity. I mean, there is a time and place for a hard ass workout,
Right.
like sweat in your eyes, like facing your demons, right? I mean, I fought.
And that can be super, super fun.
Yes, super fun, but it's not the only thing out there. And I think that we often get too caught up in the like, oh, I didn't accomplish anything. I didn't sweat. I mean, I have a lot of friends who teach yoga, and I am not a yoga instructor, so I really can't speak to some of this, but I just feel like yoga has become this workout, and I'm like, and guys, I don't think that was the intention.
You're like, wait a second.
Maybe the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you get to the level where you can do all of these cool things with your body,
Right.
but I know that there are these beginners who go into these intense yoga classes thinking that that's what they need.
This is what yoga is supposed to be about. You're dripping in sweat and you're panting, and it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't come for a HIIT class. And I mean, there are certain yoga studios that shall not be named, where they incorporate weights into their yoga classes, and I just like, I can't imagine that people in India think that that's okay.
Yeah, and I know that, you know, it's very creative and it's a very creative way to get your workout, but you know, sometimes that's not what you need.
Right.
And sometimes you need mindful movement, and mindful movement could even mean having a hard workout.
Right,
That's
exactly.
what you are mindfully thinking that you need to do, which I think is awesome. Okay.
And then just to like hold it together in the palm of your hand, and then you're gonna pinch at the sides, and then you're just gonna pleat. And
All right, guys, our dumplings are done. We have a dumpling shirt to celebrate. So amazing. And we decided to do two different ways. So Jennie's dumplings are steamed, mine are pan fried. We're gonna do a little taste, we're gonna do a little swap. But oh my gosh, they look amazing,
They
right?
look so good, and this plating is incredible.
Oh, well, I'm so excited to dig in with our cute little chopsticks.
Me
and
too.
then you're gonna take us through a mindful movement, just sitting. We don't even have to stand up.
Correct.
And we can still count it as mindful movement.
Absolutely.
Which is amazing.
Okay,
Awesome. Let's
all right,
dig in.
absolutely. This is the best part, I think, of, okay, here we go. I'm
And
gonna
just
do this
take
one.
a look, show them the amazing pleating that you taught me how to do.
I know.
The little baby.
The little babies, they're like little pockets, little purses. All right, here we go.
And we have
I'm
a
gonna
little Sriracha mayo on the side.
All right, here we go.
Cheersing.
Let's cheers.
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 Good stuff.
I like this steamed because I have like mushrooms in my teeth now. Because you can really let like the Brussels sprouts and the mushrooms be the star of the show.
Yeah.
And if you don't have time to like make your own wrappers, I mean, then they're really the star of the show,
Yeah.
which, you know, I like a lot.
Like you were saying before, you can just go buy them pre-made, make things easy. Yeah, the fried are really good. What did you say before when you were defining how and when to serve these? Like,
So the steamed is like dinner party, and that's like Super Bowl party.
exactly.
Do we want to swap?
I do want to swap.
Okay.
I have to try the steamed one.
Do I have to like know something about sports to eat these?
No, because I have no idea about sports.
Excellent.
So
Neither do I. Okay.
I'm very excited for the steamed.
I am also really into these fried Brussels sprout leaves that we put on top.
Yes, the fried Brussels sprout. I'm gonna actually top this one off so I can get some crunch in there. I just heard that crunch. That was very ASMR. Oh my gosh.
That's it. That's
Okay,
it.
let's dive in.
Oh, this is really good.
You like the fried too?
I do.
This on top.
And that sesame oil is just popping through.
Which one do you like better though? I have to agree. I think the steamed ones are just, they're the OG way. And, swallow. And like you said, it really highlights the ingredients. So they're amazing. Okay, one more bite.
Okay. I'm gonna finish mine. I'm gonna grab this Brussels sprout.
Do it. Oh God. So good.
Okay. So, one of the things that I like to do when I get up in the morning is just move my spine. You know, a lot of times too, we sit down all the time, or we're laying down, or you know, our hips are tight, our back is not feeling good. So we're gonna move into a little seated cat-cow. So go ahead, sit up tall, and all you're gonna do is round through the upper back. Ooh, and I already feel it right in the shoulders. And from here, you're just gonna hollow out through the mid-back, opening up the chest, the shoulders, and then again. So here's the scared cat. We can pretend to be Sugar and George.
Our baby kitties.
Meeting each other for the first time.
And this is awesome after just standing for a long time, too.
Absolutely. Oh. All right, one more time through. Rounding out the upper back. And then hollowing out through the mid-back. All right, last thing we'll do is a little neck stretch. So we'll go ahead and bring the right ear down to the right shoulder. And this is great, especially if you're working from home right now. Chin to the chest. And then left ear, left shoulder. And we'll just let this float like right on top of the spine. You can stick your chin up towards the ceiling, but I don't want this like extreme bend in the top of the spine, right? So same thing, other side, we're gonna go left ear to left shoulder. And then chin to chest.
Feels good. This is especially good for all the texting that we do.
All the texting, yes.
The iPhone neck, right?
And let the chin come towards the ceiling. And go ahead, bring your spine back to neutral. And that's it.
Yay! Oh my gosh, I feel so relaxed from that too. Just like calm, peaceful, and now I can really enjoy our dumplings.
And now we can get into these dumplings.
Well, thank you so much, Jennie, for joining us and teaching us how to pleat. I've never, correctly pleated a dumpling before, so you really taught me a new skill, and I hope everybody out there is gonna go make these dumplings and also tap in and research about mindful movement.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Well, thank you guys. Remember that you are worthy, you are important, and we'll see you next time.
Yay! That was so much fun.
That was really